Shakhanitansya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur
Now we will have a wonderful lecture by Sanatana Prabhu about the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees on this very auspicious occasion of Bhadra Purnima. So we'll discuss about that, the importance and significance of this day. But let's get started with some little kirtan. So please chant after me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Pijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Danandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We'll chant some prayers from the Bhagavatam. Please repeat after me, all of you. Just fold your hands and repeat after me. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone and welcome again for joining us for today's discussion. So today is a very auspicious day. Some of you might not be familiar. What is this? So this day is called the Bhadra Purnima. So today is the Purnima day and the month of Bhadra. And there is a very special significance of this day which is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'll just read. This is in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which explains what is so special about this day. So this verse says, Prostapadyam Purnamasham Hema Simha Samanvitam Dadati Yo Bhagavatam Sayati Paramam Gatim. So what is said in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, from the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, which is today, full moon day means the Purnima, month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne, and that is why you see the Bhagavatam is placed on a golden throne here, and gives it as a gift. Either you take for yourself Bhagavatam, or if you think you already have one, then you should gift the Bhagavatam to anyone. He will attain the supreme transcendental destination. So this is very, very important. So let us talk about Srimad Bhagavatam a little bit to understand that what is the importance of this Bhagavatam, why we should take for ourselves, and why we should try to give to someone. So Lord Sri Krishna, he comes in different forms. He takes various incarnations, and also he expands himself in different forms. So when Krishna, he take the form of a water, then he becomes the Yamuna river, or we can call also as Ganga Yamuna, or somewhere it is mentioned the Radha Kund. So in the form of water, Krishna comes as Ganga, Yamuna or Radha Kund. This is Krishna's form. When Krishna takes the form of a rock, then he becomes what? Giriraj Govardhan. So it is said that Giriraj Govardhan is non-different from Krishna. It's Krishna himself. And then same Krishna, he comes in some form of some stone, metal or wood. He takes the different forms of like Radha Krishna, Krishna Balram, Jagannath, like that. So Krishna comes in that form also. When Krishna comes in the form of the living guidance, then he comes as Sri Guru. The Guru is the external manifestation of Lord Sri Krishna. So through the via media of Guru, we get the guidance for our spiritual progression. And then Krishna decides to come in the form of the holy name or sound. Then he becomes the holy name. So these are all different forms of Krishna: water, rock, the stone, or metal, or wood, or sound, the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasvigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, Abhinatvam Nama Namino. It is said, Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. So if somebody is chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you are actually directly touching Krishna, because there is no difference between Krishna's name and Krishna himself. That is the nature of the absolute truth, the Param Satya. Right? So like that, different forms, and the same Lord, when he comes in the form of a land, then he becomes Sri Dham Vrindavan. Vrindavan is non-different from Krishna. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesatanya Tadhama Vrindavanam. So it is said, like Brajesatanya, Brajesatanya means Krishna, he is Aradhyo, he is worshipable. So the way Krishna is worshipable, in the same way Krishna's Dham, Vrindavan, is also worshipable, because Vrindavan is non-different from Krishna. And that same Krishna, when he comes in the form of a book, he becomes Srimad Bhagavatam. Not Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is a conversation in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The question asked by the sages, that is the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So one of the questions was asked by the sages, that what happens when Krishna left this world? Krishna performed all the pastimes, and then he wind up all the pastimes, and he left. He goes back to his own abode. What happens? So in response to that question, this verse is explained that Krishna swadham upagate dharma gyan adi visaha kalau nashtra dashamesham puranarko adunoditaha. The meaning of this verse is, Krishna swadham upagate, when Krishna went to his own dham, then what happens to dharma gyan adi visaha? What happens to dharma? Lord is not there, Bhagavan is not there. Gyan, what will happen to the knowledge and dharma? So to establish all of that, Kalau Nashtra Drisham Esham, in this age of Kali Yuga, which is the age of darkness, to remove Nashtra Drshamesha, to remove this darkness in this modern age of Kali Yuga, Puranarko Adunoditaha. Adunodita means to rise. What has risen? This Purana. Not ordinary Purana, Mahapurana. Srimad Bhagavat Purana. So actually when Krishna leaps back to his own abode, that is when Krishna comes in the form of this Purana, Bhagavat Purana. So it is non-different from Krishna. And in the Bhagavatam itself, it's very beautiful. You should all understand that because we are all sitting and talking and discussing. So this question has been asked and then it has been explained by Shukdev Goswami. Anybody who hears Bhagavatam, like we all are hearing now and discussing, three kinds of people get benefited. Who are those three people who gets benefited? So it is said, Vasudeva Katha Prishna Purusham Trin Punatihi. Vasudeva Katha Prishna. Vasudeva means Krishna. Krishna Katha, if somebody who hears Krishna Katha, Pumsam Trin, three types of people get benefited. Who are those three types of people? So you have to understand which category you are in. I'll tell that who are those three people. So first category is Vaktaram. One is the Vakta, speaker. So I know I'm getting benefited by speaking this. Vaktaram, Prachakam. Prachakam means one who asks the questions. Oh, why it happened, why that happened. And that is what, when Shukdev Goswami was narrating the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj was very, very curious. For everything he was asking questions. Oh, why Krishna killed this demon? Why that happened? Why this happened? And that is how the Bhagavatam extends to 18,000 verses. So Vaktaram get benefited, one who speaks Bhagavatam, one who asks the question. So this is the incentive to ask the questions in the Bhagavatam class. Don't be just passive participants. That when Prabhuji will come, he'll speak 1 hour, we have to just listen and don't open our mouth. So it's important that we ask the question, you get benefited. And in case if you don't ask the question, you're not all a speaker also. So Vaktaram, Prachakam, Shrotrams. Those who are Shrotas, those who are just attentively hearing about the Bhagavatam, about Krishna Katha. These three kind of people, they get benefited. And it has been compared to Tat Pad Salilam Yatha. Like the Ganges, it purifies the three worlds. So Ganges starts from the higher planets as Bhagirathi and then it comes down, Ganga, and it goes to the lower planet. So Mother Ganga, it purifies the three worlds. In the same way, this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, it purifies the three kind of people, right? And as we discussed, this Bhagavatam has risen when Krishna left back to his own abode and then to establish the Dharma, the Bhagavatam have come here. So what is the background of this? I'll just quickly narrate the story in the interest of short time today because we have some other programs lined up. So this Parikshit Maharaj, who is the grandchild of the Pandavas, great devotee of the Lord. So he was the ruling king at that time. He was ruling the entire planet. And one time when he was on the hunt in the forest, so whole day, morning to evening, he was just running around and suddenly he felt very thirsty towards the evening time. And he became so overwhelmed by his thirst and hunger. And he started frantically searching for the water in the forest. And he could see that there is one small hermitage. He entered there. And when he entered in the hermitage, he found that one sage was sitting there in meditation with the closed eyes, completely oblivious to the fact that somebody has entered it hermitage. So he did not pay attention. He didn't know. And also, he did not welcome the king. No, Parikshit Maharaj is the king. So there is expectation that I am the king, I have come here and there's no welcome. No words of welcome. Nothing has been offered. And this, he's sitting like a dumb, and with the closed eyes. So though this Parikshit Maharaj was very, very great personality, he's not some ordinary person, he's a great devotee of the Lord. But in that moment, by the will of the providence, by some arrangement, he got so overwhelmed because of the thirst and hunger, he got agitated. That was very unprecedented to this Parikshit Maharaj. He was not the person who will get easily agitated, he'll get angry. He was not that kind of a person. But in that moment, with some superior arrangement of the God, he got agitated. And in this agitation, what he did, he thought like, what kind of person he is not welcoming me, I'm the king. And then he thought, okay, I'll go back. And while he was leaving the hermitage, he thought that there was a dead snake lying there. So with his bow, he lifted the dead snake, and in anger, he put on the neck of this sage who was sitting in meditation, completely, oblivious to what is happening around. And this sage was still sitting in the meditation, and in anger, he left Parikshit Maharaj. Now, in those days, these Brahmanas, these sages, they are not ordinary people. They are very, very powerful people. They have some powers to understand what is going around. So, though the sage, his name was Shamik Rishi, on whose neck the dead snake was put, he was undisturbed. But his son, whose name was Shringi. Now, the Shringi, as being a son of a Brahmana, he was also very powerful, but little immature because of his young age. Now, he is a young boy, though he has the power, but sometimes, somebody immaturely at early age, you get the power, you don't know how to use the power. So he got very upset that what this king think of himself, how he can insult my father. We are the Brahmanas, we are superior, and these Kshatriyas, they're like the dogs. This is how in anger he's talking. Like dog is not even allowed to enter the house. They should stay outside. And he's doing all this nonsense. So I curse him that within 7 days, he will die by the bite of a snake called Takshak. So in the fit of that moment, in that rage, he cursed this great personality, great devotee, great king, Parikshit Maharaj. And the news spread, and then in anger he came back and he started crying. The Shringi, not the king. Shringi was crying by seeing that father, the dead snake, and with the sound of his crying, the father opened the eyes. He said, what happened? See, the sage was so much absorbed in his meditation, still he doesn't know that what happened. And then he's crying, then he opened his eyes. He said, what happened? He says that this king came and he insulted you like this. And to teach him a lesson, I cursed him. He told his father. And then father lamented bitterly. Then, my dear son, what blunder you have done. You have just misused your power. And you have done such a great sinful activity by cursing this king, who is a great devotee of the Lord. Like the world has not seen such kings, such expert kings, those who are great devotees. You have done such a great sin by doing that. So that is the story. But what was the response of Parikshit Maharaj having received the curse? As we said that he is a great devotee of the Lord, he was undisturbed by that curse. Prabhupada explains in the purports that he was also not ordinary person. He could have easily counteracted the curse, but he didn't do that. What was his take? He says, nothing happens without the sanction of the Lord. So if that had happened to me, maybe Krishna has some plan. So he took that as the will of the providence. Maybe some higher powers, they want this to happen. And that is why. So he immediately accepted that curse. And he was very, very thoughtful, great devotee of the Lord, very intelligent. Then he realized that I have 7 days. Because his curse was, within 7 days you will die. And Prabhupada explains very nicely, this Parikshit Maharaj was very, very fortunate. So this is the definition of good fortune. What we think in this world, who is a fortunate person? What we think in general? The person who desires something and he gets all his desires fulfilled, he is a fortunate person. But Bhagavatam is saying Parikshit Maharaj is the very, very fortunate person. Now what is the situation? He is cursed to meet within 7 days. And Bhagavatam is saying he is fortunate. How do we understand? How is fortunate? Prabhupada explains that he is very fortunate that he knows he has 7 days left in his life. Our situation is we doesn't even know that what will happen next moment. Alright. So what should be our take? So the Parikshit Maharaj immediately when he realized that I have 7 days, he in no time he wind up everything. He just detached himself from all his kingdom rule and everything, and he decided to go on the bank of the Ganges, and there he met Shukdev Goswami. And then news spread all around the universe, and all the sages, they all assembled on the bank of the Ganges, headed by this Shukdev Goswami and Vyasadeva, and all the great sages were there. And this Parikshit Maharaj comes there, and then I sit, and then he started asking the questions. That what is the duty of a man who is about to die? Many times we wonder like what kind of questions are they, like how it is relevant to us, right? Many of might think like that. The duty of a man who is about to die. It may not sound very relevant to all of us, but it is very, very relevant. This is the question for all of us. Because we all are about to die. Any moment, we never know. What should be the duty of a person who is about to die? Like that. So this is how, just a little background of how this Bhagavatam came. So this is the birth of Bhagavatam. Krishna left back, Krishna saw Dham Upagate, and then this episode happened. And then Parikshit Maharaj comes to the bank of the Ganges. Shukdev Goswami is sitting there, and then Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions, and Shukdev Goswami is answering these questions. So this question and answer has been recorded and became a Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are 7 days, and his questions were so apt, and it went for 7 days and 7 nights, question answers, and that lasted talking 18,000 verses. So Srimad Bhagavatam contains 18,000 verses, 12 cantos. You see the whole set. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is very, very important, and we are understanding like when Krishna left, Srimad Bhagavatam comes into existence. So there is this verse which explains the Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So it has been compared that how the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatams, they are compared with the different limbs of Lord Sri Krishna. So it says, Padau Yadiyo Prathamo Dittiyo. First and second canto. They are Padau. They are the lotus feet of Krishna. You will see the form of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So as you start reading from the beginning of Bhagavatam, first canto, you are touching the lotus feet of Krishna. So the first and second canto are the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Third canto is legs and thighs. Third and fourth canto. Fifth canto is Krishna's waist. Sixth canto is Krishna's chest. Seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's hands. Eighth canto is shoulders. Ninth canto is neck. 10th canto is Krishna's smiling face. In the 10th canto, Krishna Leela is there. All the Leela you hear that Krishna took birth in Mathura, in the jail, killed Kamsa, and all the different demons, and then stealing butter. All those pastimes, Krishna Leela comes in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which has been compared to Krishna's smiling face. 11th canto, Krishna's hair. And then 12th canto, ornaments on top of the head, like Krishna decorated with peacock feather, crown and all of that. So like that, the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the form of Lord Sri Krishna. So it is very, very important that on this day, we take Srimad Bhagavatam at home, which is equal to taking Krishna at home, right? And if you already have Krishna at home, then give to someone Krishna. So this is this Bhadra Purnima. And this Bhagavatam is not ordinary book. It has been explained in the Bhagavatam. Idam Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishihi Nishreshaya Lokasya Dhanyam Susti Anyam Mahat. So it is literary incarnation of God. As we discussed, when God comes in the form of a book, he becomes Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, who is also the incarnation of God. And it is meant for the ultimate good of all people. And it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. So this is the Bhagavatam. So in the Bhagavatam, the kind of questions is being asked. Those questions are Lokamangalam, for everyone's good. So it is not like two people are talking. They're talking about the Lokamangalam. So just by hearing Bhagavatam, we can do good to us, and we can also do good to the whole world. So this is what is the Bhagavatam is offering here. I'll read one or two just quick excerpts from Srila Prabhupada's teachings about the Bhagavatam. Please pay attention. So Prabhupada writes here. Question was about Krishna, and the reply is Srimad Bhagavatam. 18,000 verses, and each and every verse is so important that if a serious student studies each and every verse, each verse will take at least 1 month to understand. So much depth is there. Prabhupada is writing. Prabhupada is speaking in one of the lecture. Each verse take at least 1 month to understand deeply. So how long we take? 18,000 months. Somebody should do the math. How many years comes to complete the Srimad Bhagavatam? If you really want to understand in deep. So Prabhupada is saying, it takes at least 1 month to understand, and there are 18,000 verses. So for serious study of Srimad Bhagavatam, it will take 18,000 months. So 18,000 months meaning how many years? Prabhupada is asking. 1,500 years. He laughs. It is such an important book, Srimad Bhagavatam. Each verse is a new verse, not repetition of the same subject. And it is deeply thoughtful. And every verse, as stated here, is Atmavit Sammatam, meaning approved by persons who are self-realized. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. Every verse is so deep that you can go on reading, and so much you can understand from that. And Prabhupada is saying in another place, yes, so we have translated in English the full with the original Sanskrit text, its transliteration and English equivalent for each word, then translation, and then purport, explanation of the verse. In this way, there are 18,000 of verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Acharyas, the great saintly sages, who are preachers of this Bhagavatam throughout India, their opinion is that it is the ripened fruit of the Vedic desire tree. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the very beginning, is the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which says, Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam. So like if you see all the Vedas, like 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, Mahabharata, and so many things, so much, it's like a big tree. But the essence of the tree is the fruit. And what fruit? Ripened fruit, which has become so juicy. So it is said in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam. So this Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of this Vedic tree. We cannot read all these Vedas, Upanishads. If you read also, you don't understand. You don't get the essence. What to do after reading all of that? So if you want the essence, just read Srimad Bhagavatam, and all the essence is there. Right? So this is what is the Bhagavatam. And when to read the Bhagavatam? Once in a week, on Sunday afternoon. Bhagavatam says, Nashta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. This is seva. Every day reading Bhagavatam is nityam bhagavata. It should happen daily. Like daily you know, like some people have the deity at home, Krishna. Every day you do some seva. You light a lamp, some agarbatti, some flower. Daily seva. In the same way, it is nityam bhagavata seva. Daily. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 verse, 2 verse, but it should be nityam. Daily one should read. And then what will happen? It says Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Just by doing this little seva every day, nityam bhagavata seva, then loving service unto the personality of Godhead is established as an irrevocable fact. The bhakti will come in the heart. The love for Krishna will come in the heart just by daily reading and hearing Bhagavatam. Such a simple yet very, very profound, powerful process. Right? The attraction for Krishna, just by hearing and reading Bhagavatam, you can develop. Right? So that is why it is said, I'll just conclude with this verse. We already finished the time. So it is said in one of the verse, it goes like this. Sada Sevya Srimad Bhagavati Katha Yasya Shravana Matrena Harischittam Samashrayet. So one should do Sada Sevya, Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. And then this is how the seva should happen. And Yasya Shravana Matrena, just by hearing Bhagavatam daily. That is why Prabhupada has, made the system every day Bhagavat class. There's a lot of Prabhupada's recorded lecture you can play and hear. Or we conduct the live lectures in the temple. So every day one should hear. And just by hearing this, Yasya Shravana Matrena Harischittam Samashrayet. Lord Hari, He will enter into your heart. He will establish in your heart. Just by daily hearing this Bhagavatam. So please take this. Today is the day, is a reminder for all of us that how important it is to daily read Bhagavat. So if you don't have the Bhagavatam with you, please take it. It is very, very auspicious on this day of Bhadra Purnima that you take home. And if you already have one, then you should gift. So take the advantage of this very auspicious day. With this, we'll close. I think there's some other programs are lined up. Hare Krishna. So we can just chant maybe 3 times Hare Krishna mantra. In the meantime, they can just get ready. Okay, so let us all chant. Fold your hands and chant along with me. Anybody is coming first time to the temple? Please raise your hand if you're coming first time. Okay, some are there. So we have the special gift, those who are visiting us first time. First of all, welcome to Krishna Balram temple, and We would like to give you a special transcendental gift. So you have to contact the counter there, one of the volunteer, new visitor counter, and they will just give you the gift. So please do not miss on your gift. Now we'll just chant Hare Krishna mantra 3 times because we are not chanting the full round today. So please chant along with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, भद्र पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Hare Krishna. So they have some few announcements.
Thank you, Sanatana Prabhu, for the amazing and insightful discourse on the importance of Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Today, we gathered to celebrate Bhadra Purnima, a very holy and important day that comes on a full moon of the Bhadra month. On this day, the Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that anyone who gives or shares the sacred book receives the highest blessing and reaches the eternal abode of the Lord. Bhakti will only come by Bhagavatam. It says in Bhagavatam Mahatmyam, please repeat after me, Janmantare Kritam Punyam Tata Bhagavatam Labet. Okay, one more time. Janmantare Kritam Punyam Tata Bhagavatam Labet. The meaning goes like this. After 1 million lives of pious activities, Bhagavatam walked into our life. On this very auspicious day, we encourage everyone to take a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, either for yourself or as a gift, and take part in this wonderful offering. Now I call out the names of fortunate devotees who sponsored and are receiving Bhagavatam from our Vice President Kishore Prabhu. Please come up. Yeah. Anant Paralkar, Annapurna Sharma. Yeah, if I call your name, please come to the stage. Annapurna Sharma, Gandhar Dihe, Siva Parvati, Gaurav Saxena, Preeti Khanna, Uma Mahesh Srinivas, Shloka Shetty, Vibha Pandit, Krishnaraj Ramanathan, Birendra Singh, Rakesh Patel, Vineet Mittal, Sachin, Jayanti, and David. If you're here, please come up. They're not separately mentioned. Yeah, please come on the stage.
So for those of you who did not know, as Sanatana Prabhu explained, today is Bhadra Purnima, very auspicious to sponsor or receive Bhagavatam and start your Bhagavatam journey. We had a campaign where we offered a discount on Bhagavatam. Normally, Bhagavatam goes close to $300. So we were giving it for 201. Anybody who wants to start their Bhagavatam or gift Bhagavatam to somebody. So there are some sponsors who sponsored $201, and those who wanted to receive, they will be sponsoring that Bhagavatam today. So today is an auspicious occasion. If any of you wanted Bhagavatam at home, it's a very concise, actually, otherwise earlier it used to be such a big copy. Now we have concised it to a very small size. It occupies very little space. But importantly, it occupies very big space in your hearts and your lives. Krishna will play a very big role in your life just by having a small set of Bhagavatam at your home. So Krishna and Bhagavatam are non-different. Your life will be transformed. I'm telling you. So if you don't have Bhagavatam, seriously consider getting Bhagavatam today, especially Bhadra Purnima occasion. Bhagavatam says, Purana says, anybody who gets Bhagavatam, gifts Bhagavatam on this day, takes Bhagavatam close their heart, they are going back to Godhead. So it's not an ordinary opportunity. So if you are interested, please line up here and talk to Mataji here, expressing your interest either to sponsor or receive or to buy Bhagavatam. If you want to receive only and not spend the full money, it is $75 only, because we have sponsors who are willing to sponsor you Bhagavatam if you are willing to spend only $75. But if you want to buy a full copy, it is $201. Thank you. So they're gifting. So now the sponsors will be gifting the recipients Bhagavatam. So first Gandhar can start. So the recipient is actually the whole pack. So Shiva Parvati Mataji is receiving on behalf of Padmavati Mataji. Hare Krishna. Haribol. You have to help. Somebody has to help. Yeah. So next sponsor and receiver. Devayani Mataji, who is receiving next? You're sponsoring or receiving? You're receiving? Both are receiving? Okay. Somebody has to sponsor. Oh, you are sponsoring, okay. So Vibha Mataji is sponsoring and okay, so we need recipients. Okay, they're themselves. Okay, so I'll be giving the. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Recipient name, please. Huh? Preeti Khanna. Preeti Khanna. They purchased themselves. They did not sponsor. We need clarity here. We need who is sponsoring, who is receiving.
Only 3 people, Prabhu, more sponsors. We cannot match like that. Just keep giving. Yeah, just keep giving, Prabhu. She, Vibha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Vibha Mataji sponsored a set of Bhagavatam. Your name?
Jayanti.
Jayanti. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Your name? You purchasing Bhagavatam?
We want to receive, but we will give the where we
okay.
should give the funds.
Right.
We don't know.
Yes, we
Where
can
we
talk.
can.
Your name?
So Arun, Shweta, Harshini.
Okay, Arun, Shweta, Harshini, they chose to receive Bhagavatam today. Haribol. Arun, Shweta, Harshini. Yes. So they are receiving Bhagavatam, they are sponsoring themselves. Hare Krishna, Sachin and family. Your names, Mataji? Sachin, Shweta and Anika?
Kridha.
Kridha. Anika Kridha. Hari Bol.